first practice of the year started on Monday.
This is your 4th year here. Does this team look any different than the previous teams in any good or way, bad way?
I think we're, on the right path with we've established a style of play that we're comfortable with, and, the type of personnel we like to play with. So I think, along the lines, overall, I mean, there's a lot of similarities, but, any good program in the offseason you evaluate, and, you may maybe think about things, areas of growth, and in areas you want to reinforce and continue to get better at. So we've definitely spent a lot of time focusing on that. And the other thing is, as you put together your roster, you have to be, you don't just get to necessarily handpick, every player that you want. So you have to be adaptable. And so I feel like, we got some guys that can continue to kind of, be successful in the way we want to play. But I'm also, they have some unique attributes that we'll probably need to tap into as well.
What do you enjoy most about being a grandfather?
Oh, wow. I like the good questions. This has been really fun watching, Liam and Hallie, kind of, become young parents and take it on as their own. And I know, my wife and I are really excited, and obviously, having them in town, is not something, maybe you can ever expect to happen. When I was 18, I left home and, I never moved back. And, so to be in the same area as them has been really cool. And, it's just a great perspective. My wife and I look at each other and think, it seems like yesterday we were in those shoes. And so to watch them be young parents and be able to be a part of it's been really, really cool.
What went into the decision to stick with only 11 scholarship players after maybe a couple of them opened up during the offseason? Nothing we overthought. I think you're always, mindful of, when you're filling out your rosters, you want to make sure there's an opportunity, for everybody that you give a scholarship to. And, what does that opportunity mean? That opportunity might mean playing time. That opportunity might be to develop for a year or two, kind of wait in the wings. And so you just want to make sure you're getting the right guys to fill those last scholarships, and that there's an opportunity for them to be successful in your program. And we feel good where we ended up. And, obviously we ended up, on the heavy side of walk-ons this year for a variety of reasons. So we felt like, our practice numbers are where they need to be for us to practice the way we want to be. So we didn't really have the right maybe fit for those last 2 scholarships, or the timing wasn't right. So we kind of were comfortable going with 11. How much did it help to be able to get all 3 of those guards to come back after they tested the water?
Well, it's significant. Those 3 guards, you're referring to, Jaden, Caleb, and KJ. I just kept using the analogy. All we focus on is how everything's different, this and that. But, returning experienced players is important. And I would equate to having 3 guards in their second year in the program. It's equivalent to maybe 5 or 10 years ago having 3 upperclassmen at those guard spots that are juniors and seniors. It's just the continuity you feel comfortable with, and hopefully they're able to kind of take the next steps within the program just because of their experience and their familiarity with what we do.
What are your expectations for Del Orso, and what type of player should we?
Well, he's going to be a real impact player for us. I mean, he's got just an incredible feel for the game. He's got incredible skill. He's a winner, and so we're counting on him to play a major role on this team, and we're excited to have him. And he's been great, in our summer and our fall practices, and he's kind of, it was a quick recruitment, and which happens sometimes, this day and age, but it's one that we're looking forward. We look back on and understand that we're fortunate that it happened because of the way he's going to be able to contribute to this year's team.
Do you have any connection with him, with your Australia background yourself or anything, or like you said, it was a quick night?
I mean, we have some connections. We both like meat pies and sausage rolls, and I think that we bonded over that. And there's this thing down there called VB. I think I like that more than he does, but no direct personal connections. Just we were able to kind of cross-reference a few relationships and stuff like that, but nothing major.
With guys like Carter, Trey, it seems like those guys are. It sounds like got some inside-outside skills. Do you anticipate using the 4 position any differently this year? Or do you?
Well, I mean, listen, the 4 has been really effective for us. I mean, whoever's played that spot in our 3 years here has been really successful. And the first guy, to kind of wrap his arms around that was, Azulis Tabelis, and he played it his own way. And, then you ended up with Keyshot, who, kind of took that role last year along with some help from Pella, and, and they played it their own way. And I think what's important with that position is, it gives you a lot of flexibility in what you do. And, you can really, adapt what you want to do offensively and defensively just based on that guy's skill set. So, we're going to adapt to the strengths, but, we have great options there this year. And I'm really excited about how we're going to be able to utilize the guys that play that spot.
What do you hope to see from Caleb this year?
Caleb, first off, this is an amazing guy and just a first-class individual. And, I'm really proud of Caleb, and I'm proud to be associated with him. I'm really challenging him to continue to grow, and, he's had a very successful college career thus far. And, he's kind of this last generation of player that's going to get that additional year. And so I've just encouraged him to take advantage of it. Now, what does that mean? That means, for me, maybe getting outside of yourself and growing in other areas. And those are conversations that we've had, and the buy-in's been great. So, I'm expecting him to, obviously be a major significant contributor at both ends of the floor, and I'm expecting his experience to kind of be able to carry us through and guide us in tough moments.
Is that the growth? What do you mean by growth?
Growth could be like, maybe changing how you play a little bit. You know what I mean? Like maybe not just, going back to the drawing board and saying, well, I just want to do what I've done before, but maybe a little bit more of it or a little bit better. Maybe it's go back and rethinking what you did, and kind of reinventing yourself or reinventing certain parts of your game. So, those are conversations, we've had and things we really spent a lot of time on this summer. So far the results have really stood out to me.
Did you have any suggestions to him in that regard?
Well, for sure. I had a lot of suggestions to him. And we'll keep those internal between me and him. And we're not a program that gets out ahead of ourselves. We're a program that wants to show proof of concept and to back up what we talk about. So I don't feel the need to say specifically what we're talking about. I'm just excited for for him to get out there and over the course of the season be able to display what we did. To me, that would be success. Way more success than me in an opening media conference, talking about what we're going to do. He's going to show you what we're going to do. That's our mindset.
You've had tremendous. Go ahead, Bruce.
You went to him a lot in big moments, and I remember he said sometimes he after he shot a 3 or whatever, he would say, "Oh, I should have driven," or "I should have gotten a little closer," or whatever. Is that kind of maybe at least a little bit of what you're looking at, just how he controls his game?
Bruce, I think I was pretty clear.
Yeah.
Caleb's a great player. We've asked him to make some adjustments to his game that he's fully embraced, and I think we'll let those show over the course of time.
You've had tremendous success with the big man improvement in your program. Is that type of improvement something that we could see from Mo Priebus this year?
I wouldn't just limit that to big man. Player development is something that we take a ton of pride in as a staff, and we're mindful of every single day, and how we approach practices and workouts, and I love our collective group of bigs. I really appreciate each of them individually, but I really value how they come together as a core group. So I think each of those guys have made significant strides. Now, we need to kind of hammer those things home and not just assume they're going to happen and not take them for granted. We got to go out and, like you said, we've got to go out and show that progress has been made. And, like I said, with that stuff and with Caleb, I don't feel like it's necessary for me to get up on a soapbox and tell you how these guys have gotten better. I want you to see how they've gotten better.
I was being more about Mo Priebus, and could he make?
Yeah, Mo's obviously made great progress. He's made great progress, and he's somebody that we were excited when he decided to join this program, and we're excited to move forward with him and watch his continued growth. He's
he's a tremendous young man and a tremendous prospect.
What's his status? You guys were kind of.
Yeah, I mean, he's fine. I mean, like if we had games today, he'd be playing. And it's just, sometimes, you have to time these things and take care of things when you can. And, there's nothing we're hiding or nothing like that. It's, just taking a little bit of time to make sure, he's ready for the long haul.
I was wondering, do you expect for the Red Blue game him and everybody else?
I mean, Bruce, that's 10 days out from now. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen between now and then, or what J-Rock's going to decide that's best for these guys. So, I'll assume everybody's available until they're not available.
How was the experience with Team USA, and gain anything from that you can use this season?
It was an awesome experience. It was an incredible opportunity for me, personally, and something that I really appreciate being a part of. As far as specifics, I would say that, it was a great honor for me to, something you spend your life trying to develop your craft, to be able to represent my country doing that. So that kind of hits home a little bit more when you're kind of on that sideline, during the first game, at Argentina, versus Argentina, on the road. It's 47 degrees in the gym. The rims are 2 inches thick, and they play the national anthem. You're like, it means something, And so for me, there's this really cool, and I wish, everybody could experience what it feels like to represent a group. Whether that's representing your country, whether that's representing the University of Arizona, representing the community of Tucson, representing the state of Arizona. I mean, that's the driving force in doing things, is you understand that you're constantly part of something that's much bigger than yourself. And, I think, overall our society needs a little bit more of that right now, because I think it gives you great perspective when you understand that you're serving others and you're a part of something bigger than yourself. And the honor to coach USA basketball hammered that home to me.
What did you end up doing with the gold medal?
I just threw it in the sock drawer next to the other ones. There's a display in my office with some of that stuff. And to be honest with you, I've been fortunate to be on a lot of successful teams over the years that have won. And you get rewards at the end of the year. And forever, I kept those things in a small Ziploc bag. And then it grew to a bigger Ziploc bag, like one of those 1 gallon ones, and just kind of, whatever, put it away wherever my wife had it. And then, we accumulated so many, she felt like it was important that we kind of get a place to present them in. So she had a really cool, box type thing, not a jewelry box, much bigger than that, built that kind of puts all that stuff in that's in my office. So I thank her for that, but trust me, I don't look at them ever, because I'm always thinking about the next one.
Do you foresee any difference, or was there a difference in approach to roster construction now that you're in the Big 12, maybe stuff?
Not for Arizona. Obviously you guys know I like a big, physical style of basketball, and obviously we're stepping into a conference that's, known for, not only, great competition, but, great athletes and great physicality. So, I think we're built for it. But again, we're not going to, make any assumptions. We got to go out and we got to show and prove that we're built to be successful in the Big 12.
What are you hoping from Bradley? Obviously, they play a lot more, presumably.
Yeah, JB's, really kind of, taking that position and wrapped his arm around it. And obviously we're looking for him to be a lead guard and be a leader on our team and be a leader on the court, and help us get organized and play efficient, effective style of basketball. And he really kind of came on as the year went on last year, and he's really continued that growth over the course of the summer. So he's somebody that we're fortunate to have, and I'm excited for him to get his opportunity to kind of be that lead guard this year.
Can you talk about Henry real quick too, because we lost him in a year,
Yeah.
After seeing some good signs his first year. Just your thoughts about his future maybe this year.
Well, Henry's probably somebody that a lot of people have forgotten about a little bit. He came in as a freshman that we were counting on, and kind of had an up and down freshman year, which happens to a lot of guys, especially coming that over from Europe, that transition. Then the start of his second year he gets injured, and it kind of cost him a significant portion of the front part of the season that we felt it was in his best interest to redshirt. So, he was healthy enough to play probably around in January-ish. I just thought that it would be smarter to redshirt him and really give his body another year to catch up and his game another year to grow, and just for him to mature, physically, mentally, emotionally, all those things. And I think he's made progress in all those areas. I mean, he's been a consistent, producer in our practices, and we're looking for him to play an impact role on this team. And back in the day, guys like Henry would have redshirted. And just because that's what we did. We redshirted big guys, and kind of took our time developing them. So for him to get the advantage of that redshirt year is really going to give him a great 3-year window to make an impact on college basketball.
Thoughts on the additional red-blue game up in Glendale and the value that comes from that?
It's probably a big swing. We were presented with the opportunity, and we went for it. And we obviously want to continue to grow Arizona basketball throughout the state, and we want to be able to get up to Phoenix. Obviously, it's our largest population base in the state, and let fans engage with Arizona basketball. Hey, to be honest with you, we need to sell some more tickets. So we need Wildcat Nation up there or down here to come up and support the program. And we've had some great conversations, kind of internally and externally with other parts of the university about, can we make this an annual thing where we go up there and make it a great day to promote the University of Arizona for future students, for, alumni coming back to participate in alumni events. And then, as part of a much bigger University of Arizona event, we tie in another red-blue game, So I think there's some exciting things on the horizon. It's just probably going to take a year to kind of to make it work. So, but we're not afraid of making bold moves, and in this day and age, we want to separate ourselves from the pack, and Arizona basketball is a special brand, and it means so much to so many people that, we want to continue to grow it and build it.
You've had some coaching changes this offseason with Ricardo Foyce moving on. Can you talk a little bit about that and just being able to promote from within and the benefits with that?
Yeah, that's something, the promotion from within is something I really value. It really helped me in my coaching career. I was at a program where, if someone left, more often than not, the next guy up, was how we approached it. And to be able to do that was awesome here. And Rim and Ken and TJ are all guys that I'm very close to and have known for a lot of years. And they're great coaches and they're great people. So I just felt the smartest move for us on the court was to continue to grow with those guys. Those guys know everything we've done the last 3 years, the good things, the bad things, and I think that's important. Not that there's nothing wrong with getting outside input, but I still feel like we're at a point where we're kind of continuing to develop and build our philosophies for how we want to play, and I just thought those guys with for I guess the program knowledge they had were the right move. We were also able to hire a guy named Matt King, and a lot of you guys might know Matt. Matt's been a prominent person in the sports world, and especially in the Arizona and Phoenix area for a number of years. And with this becoming more of a business, you need business minds. And I can claim to be a lot of things, but probably a business mind's not one of them. So we wanted to bring somebody in here, kind of in a senior role that can really make sure that the eyes, effort, and energy that are required to run a program are inside our group. So we feel really good about the staff changes we made, and we also appreciate Ricky. Ricky's like a little brother to me. He and I have been together a lot of years, and he may or may not be making an appearance in Tucson this weekend, and so we continue to be close. And for him, to continue to pursue his coaching dream and get back in the NBA is something that we're really excited about for him.
I know there's a lot to play out, but what do you make of the backup point guard or the second point guard?
Yeah, listen, it's so early, but Conrad's somebody I have a lot of belief in. And maybe I believe in him more than others, and I think that he's going to definitely be able to provide a spark for us, but we're not going to just put 100% of that burden on him. I think, guys like Caleb and KJ have enough experience now to handle some of that playmaking and decision-making role. And to be honest with you, our system, obviously, any system is good with the point guard, but ours isn't, the way we play with pace and movement, it's not 100% reliable on having, a pure point guard on the court every second. So I think we got a lot of options, and I like the pieces we have. So I'm excited to see how that plays out.
How much can you rely on Jaden at the point? Because obviously his efficiency was through the roof last year, but with smaller sample size. I mean, do you figure that, is there a caution that after 32 minutes a game or whatever, maybe it dips a little with him? Or
Again, Bruce, you're ahead of me. You know what I mean? Like I have not thought about overusage on Jaden Bradley. I think we have other options. I mean, I haven't thought about a threshold. At 28 minutes, he, diminishes. Like, I think it has to play out a little bit. Maybe he's like the running back that in the fourth quarter, the more carries you give him, the stronger he gets. Maybe he's Jerome Bettis. I don't know. I don't know. So, so I'm going to let that play out. And, one of the things I try not to do, and I'm not, trying to, be contentious or anything, but I like to let these things happen naturally. And I don't like to, script a lot of the decisions, because to me, like, aren't you supposed to give players a chance to prove it? And we're really happy with the team we have, and now they have an opportunity to go out and, prove what they can and can't do. And so, especially early in a training camp, we're just gonna kind of, practice and hey, this is our core identity. We're gonna hammer on this. These are some new things we're trying to get better. Let's see, let's tinker with these things. Here, this was a weakness last year. Let's address this. And then so we'll kind of approach it like that and let all those things kind of play out ahead of us.
With the Big 12 schedule coming out tomorrow, just thoughts overall on the overall slate, including the non-conference ones you put together?
Yeah, listen, I'm happy with our schedule. There's a lot of moving parts this year. You play in 18 or 20 games in the Big 12. These are things that that we maybe didn't know to a later date. So how do you want to handle your non-conference schedule? What is it going to look like? Are you going to have any buys in the second part of the year? Like I said, we didn't know a lot of these answers early. So obviously I've seen the schedule, and it's incredibly challenging. But I think it's an awesome opportunity, and we're excited to be part of the Big 12. We're excited to be, part of the conference, that is thought to be the number one basketball conference in the country. But again, it's easy to say number one basketball conference in the country, but now us as a program and us as a conference got to go out and prove it.
Do you know it or care if you double up on some of the road games? And does that matter if you're chartered?
I've been doubling up my whole coaching career. So, like, for me, it'll probably be weird to go play one game and come home. So, like, I'm not concerned about the double up do. That's what we did at Gonzaga all those years. It's what we've done in the Pac-12. My 3 years here. So it's all I kind of know.
Is there a connection to Luka Doncic, and what do you make of his unofficial commitment?
Well, I think as a community we need to rally around an NIL plan, see if we can get him here next year. Listen, I had no idea that happened. I thought it was really cool because I'm not on the socials much. So somebody basically told me, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. I know Lucas. I've heard from numerous people that he's a great guy, and great with his teammates and fun to be around. And I know great guys that are fun to be around seem to do really well in Tucson. So I think he'd be one of us.
Along those lines, I'm sure you heard about the Vegas quarterback who left his team.
I haven't heard. What about it?
He left his team. They were 3-0. He's the quarterback. He wasn't getting paid his NIL, promised NIL, alleged. So he left. You think that's not here, but maybe a problem?
Honestly, I don't think I have enough information on something like that to even make a comment. And so I don't want to make an off-the-cuff comment like that could be misconstrued. So definitely complicated times, and I hope it works out for all the parties involved.
Considering everything he's been through with his health and his career over the last few years, what do you make of Christian Coloco getting back in the NBA side?
I was able to see Christian, last week, and I'm excited for him. He just, you talk about just an incredible person, and for him to, struggle with the development the first few years of college that it takes, and then kind of be able to have that third year where he kind of took off a little bit and had a lot of success to get drafted, to kind of figuring out the things in the NBA, and then, dealing with health issues out of nowhere, that really aren't related to anything at all to do with basketball. It's a lot for a young guy to take in. So to see him work himself through that, and it looks like there's going to be a positive outcome is really encouraging. There's a lot of work that, that remains to be done for him. He's going to have to, really commit himself and push himself to, physically get back to the level he was at when he left here. Because I think if he does that, with his character and his talent, he's got a chance to have a successful NBA career.
Where do you see Carter winding up so far anyway? Has he been exclusively with the wings, or have you had him working?
We've moved him all over the court. He's a guy, he's versatile, so, we'll try to take advantage of, the versatility he brings, but at the same point, we'll figure out what we think eventually, when we're ready to make those decisions, what position gives him the best chance to have early success, and, and then what position gives our team to have the best chance to grow over the course of the season. We'll make those decisions, as they play out in front of us.
And following up on Henry too, like if he does crack the rotation, where does he help you maybe the most, or
Henry could play either of those front court spots.
Yeah.
He kind of plays them his own way. So, again, another thing we'll see how it plays out over the course of the next few weeks, and then try to make the best decision for the program and for Henry.
Entering year 4, where do you think you've grown, and what have you learned through the first 3 seasons as Arizona's head coach?
Well, I think the first thing you take a step back is, I have the same enthusiasm, for the job as when I first started. I know my love of Tucson and the University of Arizona has really grown, as being somebody who wasn't from here or didn't have much, experience here. So I think, if your passion and your energy is still there, like you're beginning something, but your love and your loyalty to the community, the program grows, I think that really is it's a powerful force that gets behind you and motivates you every single day. I know my job, in simple terms, is to coach a basketball team, but I also know the impact that basketball team has on this community, and to me, it's a driving force for me every single day to be successful for the people of Tucson, the people of the University of Arizona, and the people in the state of Arizona that love this place. And honestly, I'm saying that from the bottom of my heart. That drives me every single day. I don't need any individual accolades or awards. I want program success, for our players and for the members of this community.
How about Emmanuel?
I thought that was a good one to end on right there. I kind of hit it home, and then I was almost going to mic drop it, and then you came with out of left field. Okay, let's go.
I still got 3 more here.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But no, E-Man, just how he's looking.
E-Man's awesome. You guys are going to love him. He's at that early development stage for a big guy, but he's got a ton of potential, and this guy just oozes energy and enthusiasm, and I think those are going to be resources he's really going to be able to tap into with a little more experience. I think he's going to be a great player at Arizona.
And you talked about Liam early. I was just curious, how does it feel to have him on the team as a dad? And did you guys have any conversations? Because he's coming from starting at NAU to who knows what he's going to be here as a walk-on.
Yeah, I think Liam said it best. When my wife asked if he was going to play, he said, "Mom, if I have to play, Dad is not doing his job." So listen, college basketball is hard, and Liam's been through a lot of ups and downs in college basketball, and I don't think that the general public really, acknowledges that or understands that enough, and that's fine that they don't. Everybody has their own battles they're fighting. They don't need to, empathize with college athletes every second of the day. But it's hard. So I think he's been through a lot, and I think he's just excited to be down here and start kind of his next journey in life. And it's been fun having him around. It doesn't impact how I coach or any decisions that I make. And he knows he's plays a small, but all those walk-ons on what we call our green squad play a very important role in what we do. And I think he takes a lot of pride in that, as do all the other guys on the green team. And yeah, it's been fun having them around, and, you know, I'm sure it's something that, you know, as the years pass, I'll look back with great memories for. But in the moment, you know, what I'm worried about right now is having a good practice this afternoon. That's all I'm focused on.
With those, with only 11 scholarship guys, is there a chance you give a scholarship to any of the walk-ons?
I mean, I really haven't thought about that at this point, you know, so, you know, we'll see how that plays out.
You guys have two green teams at this point? Or?
Yeah, some days we do, and it's been awesome. You know, and I'm not making no jokes about it. I mean, like, I know people think it's crazy, but it's really been able to help the way we practice and with the repetitions we've been getting, and you know, and you know, you go forward and they say 15 players, and you know, I mean, there's a lot of unanswered questions. What does that mean for walk-ons?
Yeah.
I mean, walk-ons in basketball are, I mean, over the course of college basketball, the impact walk-ons have made has been amazing. And the impact of being able to walk onto a college basketball team, the impact that's had on those guys' lives has been amazing. Like, I hope we don't ever lose sight of that, because that's what college basketball, you know, it's about. And, you know, I know it's a business, and it's a business that we fully participate in, but I hope some of those, you know, cool things aren't lost, you know, in this newfound focus on the business side of it.
All right.